What is going on, Dat Nation? The 2024 NFL Draft has concluded, and the New Orleans Saints made some really good selections, and I'm going to go through each one of those picks and give an individual grade for each selection, and at the end of the video, I'm going to grade the draft as a whole. But before we dive in, got to give you a friendly reminder to subscribe today for more Saints coverage, because we got free agency to cover. We got UDFAs that are already being signed. I'm going to break down every single edition in tomorrow's video, and on top of that, we got live coverage, watch parties, and so much more. So hit the subscribe button, turn on your noties, and let's kick this thing off. So Taliese Fuaga was the number 14 overall selection by the New Orleans Saints. I gave this grade an A+. To be honest, it is 100% what the New Orleans Saints needed to do. Go get an offensive tackle, go get somebody with high upside, and get somebody who's a good fit. And I think they did exactly that. I'm so excited to see Taliese Fuaga rock the black and gold. And I think he's going to be a really good player to replace Ryan Ramczyk. And hopefully Trevor Penning can pan out to be the left tackle side. But I do have faith in Fuaga to take over on the right or left tackle side. Notably, he was on the right side at Oregon State. And then honestly, probably one of the crazier picks in day two, KoolAid McKinstry. The New Orleans Saints did trade up with the Packers to make this selection. I absolutely love this addition to the Saints defense. I would have gone A+ here. However, in my personal opinion, I didn't think cornerback was a dire need for the New Orleans Saints. That being said, when you can get a guy who is a first-round caliber player, just a little bit ago, not too long ago, we were talking as the number one corner in college football. You got him at number 41 overall. A lot of people were like, we didn't have to trade up for him. We could have waited a few picks. No, you couldn't. He was going to get picked by 45. This is a damn good player, and you got damn good value and a lot of upside. I absolutely am so excited to see. The videos of him getting the phone call really warmed my heart. The dude just seemed so pumped up to be a Saint. So here's... I spent the entire live stream saying it's not going to happen. It's not going down. Spencer Rattler's not a Saint. They're not picking him. I even was like calling some fans, being like, guys, stop it. It's not happening. Just put it to rest. And then, next thing you know, the New Orleans Saints selected Spencer Rattler. I gave this pick a B-, and it's not because I dislike the player. It's just I think that there's better needs or bigger needs than a backup quarterback that you could have utilized or you could have addressed here. Interior offensive line, there was a handful of good pass catchers, some tight ends, defensive linemen as well that were available at this selection. But I like the idea of having Spencer Rattler in this offense. I think Clint Kubiak is going to be really good with Spencer Rattler. And I will say this, there's a common trend with Saints quarterbacks that have been drafted since I think it was 2006. Every quarterback that's been drafted since then has not been on the roster for more than a year. So maybe Jake Haener could be on the way out. Who knows what will happen, but training camp's going to have an interesting battle between Haener and Rattler. Personally, I think Rattler will win the competition. And I got a lot more to discuss in today's video, but I can't go any further without helping you guys fix that stank. I know some of y'all are sitting at home just stinking it up. So I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, and that is Mando. And honestly, I need to take my own notes here, and I really hope my little brother's watching, because if he uses our code CHAT when he goes and checks out to get Mando, he can get $5 off. So spring into the season with deodorant that can handle the heat, especially down in Louisiana and down here in Texas. It gets humid and hot. Mando is clinically proven to work hard all day. Instead of covering up BO with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor at the source, stopping the stink from happening in the first place. And you can get $5 off the starter pack with our code CHAT. I mean, look how great this is. It's sleek. Smells pretty damn good if you ask me. And on top of that, it's going to keep you smelling not funky fresh, absolutely fresh all day long. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, which I was holding in my hand, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or some deodorant wipes or something, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked up on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. Guys, Do not take your hygiene lightly. Take it seriously. Don't be stinking up the room. And hey, you start smelling good, the ladies will start flowing. So new customers can get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. All that information in the comment section and description of this video. Now, the New Orleans Saints in round 5, I kind of found this to be a little bit of a shocking pick. I don't dislike the position. Bub Means, a wide receiver out of Pitt. I think that it was a good addition, but the thing about it here is I don't think he's like an X-receiver kind of guy. Like, he's at 6'1", about 227 pounds at his pro day, and he's a player who never had incredible production, but spent some time at Louisiana Tech, spent some time with Pitt, and on top of that, he does have vertical threat ability. He can be a good player. But I wanted to see the Saints go and get a big-bodied guy. Johnny Wilson was available at this selection. I would have liked that, I think, a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, I love me some Bub Means names. And on top of that, imagine the training camp battle of KoolAid McKinstry versus Bub Means. It's going to be a good one just purely based off the names. So Jaylan Ford was the next pick at 175, the linebacker from the Texas Longhorns. I gave this grade a B because I do think that linebacker is a position of need for the Saints. And I think that that's one that the Saints needed to address in the draft. And I'm okay with investing a 5th round, 175th overall selection on Jaylan Ford. I mean, he does have coverage ability. He is a tackling machine. He had over 100 tackles the last 2 seasons for the Longhorns. And I think that he could do a really good job of learning behind Demario Davis, learning behind Willie Gay, and really honing in his skills, if you will. And I will say this, one thing I found pretty cool, after he was drafted, Jaylan Ford, was talking about linebackers that he watches and admires. And he said Demario Davis is a top 3 linebacker in the league. So I'll tell you what, if he's not a great player, at least he knows ball. Demario Davis, damn good linebacker. Jaylan Ford, damn good pick. But I think a better selection for me was Khristian Boyd. Now, I really, really like this addition. Coming out of Northern Iowa, he's a run-stopping defensive tackle, 6'2", about 330 pounds. I mean, a massive, massive human being. He does have some question marks around his pass rush ability, but like I said, the run-stopping ability is stellar, and that's something that the Saints struggled with big time last year, especially with like mobile quarterbacks. And if you remember, they lost Malcolm Roach in free agency. So I think that this is a move that is going to be beneficial for the Saints for a really long time. And hey, Khristian Boyd also has a school record of 38 reps of 225 pounds on the bench. I don't give a damn if you went to Georgia. I don't give a shit if you went to Alabama or if you went to Ohio State. That's freaking impressive. Can you do 225 pounds 38 times without taking a break? That's all I got to say. Now, Josiah, I want to make sure I get this right. Ezirim. Josiah Ezirim is an offensive tackle out of Eastern Kentucky, standing at 6'5", 329 pounds. He played 792 snaps last year, gave up 0 sacks and 0 hits, and I absolutely love that by the player. He had an 84.3 run blocking grade according to PFF. He was a 2-year starter who actually started off his career as a defensive tackle. He moved from Nigeria to Ohio at age 13, so that's a pretty cool story there. Great size and length. He avoided flags despite being a very raw player, and he actually played shockingly well considering where he was playing at and what the situation he was in. His relative athletic score was 8.5 out of 10. The New Orleans Saints love players that have very high athletic ability and a very high motor. So Josiah, I'm going to get it right. Before the season starts, I'm going to have this guy's name down right, like nobody's business. Josiah Ezirim. I'm going to nail it. Josiah Ezirim out of Eastern Kentucky. I gave it a B grade. Gives you some more depth on the offensive line. But I want you guys to get in the comment section. I just went down and graded every single pick for the New Orleans Saints. grade the draft for New Orleans. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give you my answer here in just 1 second, but this is your chance to sound off and share your thoughts in the comment section. And while you're down there, hit the thumbs up icon and like the video. So my thoughts, my final grade on all of this, I got to give it an A. And, maybe I have black and gold glasses on. Maybe I have, my blinders on for this draft class. But it feels like every single one of the players that you drafted, at least your first three, arguably also Khristian Boyd, throw that in the mix as well. Every single one of the players you drafted, in my opinion, has high upside, was a positional need or has positional value. And on top of that, you maybe can argue Spencer Rattler wasn't a positional need, but on top of that, you can also sit here and look. The Saints didn't give away any future assets or trade away any players. They have all of their picks that they went into next year without giving any away. And they got some really good talent, some really good football players. And I think that this is going to be a draft class that could shape and mold the future of this organization. I tweeted it out. You can see my account below me. I posted this on Twitter, and I said, hot take. So if you're not ready for a hot take, click out the video. But hot take alert. Hot take alert. I think that this draft class has the potential and the capability of being better than the 2017 draft class. So flame me in the comment section. Share your thoughts in the comments and down below. And y'all stay golden. We got more videos and more coverage coming at you all weekend and all week long. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.